All right. It's kind of hard to explain the difference between pride and ego. Where everybody online, they seem like they all have a problem with ego, where I think that's what we're here for. Ego being your sense of self, where we derive a lot of our ego from pride. You know, children, we want your children to be prideful. You just took a poopy. So proud of you. And the kids are proud and they're happy and they want to do it. It's encouraging to be prideful, but after a point, your pride can hurt you. Where that's at self denial, where I can do it, I could do that, I just don't want to. Understand? Pride is, it's so much harder to separate pride from ego than I thought. Where ego is your sense of self, but pride, it's that's what, when they talk about ego in a negative way, that's your pride. That, oh, man, it's so hard. All right, let me explain this to you. I was 17 dating a 23-year-old from Belarus or Russia. I don't know where she was from, Belarus or Russia, honestly. I think she might have been here on a passport. If if you catch my drift, I don't exactly know, but I know we got pulled over one time, and we didn't get pulled over. We were parked in front of a pond on a date, right? And cop pulled in and wanted to run our IDs. We weren't supposed to be parked there, whatever, you know. But cop grabbed my ID, grabbed her ID, and took it back to his car. And she looks at me scared, dead serious. He's not going to be able to tell if anything's wrong with my ID, is he? Whether visa, her green card, or passport, whatever it was. And I looked at her like, no, he can barely run mine. Baby, you don't got a thing to worry about, you know? It was something else, but um, when I was 17 and dating a woman way out of my league, quite frankly, and well, she she explained to me once that she had a necklace that was given to her from a former lover. And she said her ex-boyfriend gave it to her and promised her all this stuff. And she keeps it. She likes it. And she also told me one night, I don't know if it was connected to everything. It takes a while to connect certain things. But she told me that she, all right. So where she was working, they had housing for immigrants, for people, because she was from Russia. And anyway, they'd import people every year, and they'd have two houses, one for men, one for women. And she pointed at the men's house and said, I can go in there tonight and have sex with every man in there and enjoy it. And I didn't, what she was saying was, she needs a way to determine who she's going to sleep with and a way to hold herself back. And I think the gifts were a way of her determining who she's going to be with. Where my ego couldn't hear it at the time. She told me that she could go in that house and have sex with every man in there. And I looked at her. I'm like, I couldn't even hear it. I could go in there and I could do that if I wanted to. It just take me a little time. I understand. She wasn't. Understand what she was saying was that she had options, and she wasn't. She was just trying to explain a simple fact of life that she has the option. She could, and she wouldn't. Maybe if they had enough money, maybe. But she was telling me she needed a way, and God, it's so hard to explain. But at the end of the day, this is an adult conversation, by the way. Trigger warning. Um, I think she saw prostitution as a way of not, well, gifts. Understand. I think that she possibly was, well, just passing through in America here on a secured visa or, I don't know, a working visa, or it's difficult to explain. But my ego couldn't hear it because my pride was getting in the way. My pride that told me to say, oh, I could go into the house right next to it and I could have sex with all those women. And I, I'm sorry, it sounded like I heard fighting downstairs. It's too much. I can't get involved anyway. Um, well, because the last time I got involved, I ended up getting well, I got to move now. It's a big thing. It's a thing. You know, everything takes a long time to explain. So, how long do you got? Already talked longer than you're willing to listen. Understood. But yeah, pride and ego. Your pride is there to serves a purpose. Like all parts of yourself, like all the Vedic texts. I'm not familiar with Vedic texts, but from what I've heard, they separate your soul into different gods, different parts. Where there's Vishnu, Kali, and Brahma. I'm not really familiar. I wish I could speak on it. I really do. I honestly wish there was someone out there that could. Please tell me more about that. Um, I'd uh, I'd love to hear about it. But where you know, like the Catholics have the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, where they have your future, your present, and your past living simultaneously as one, where there's a future version of you living different event experiences. There's a present version of you, and then there's a past version. Of course, that's just one priest's explanation. I've heard so many people speak on so many things that nobody has a clue on. They can't explain it. They can't even explain how AI works. I don't really understand everything about AI. I don't know. I can't even code. Understand. If you're familiar with Quad, out of my league. Can't even talk to you about it. HTML, maybe a little bit. High school, just a little bit. But when I say just a little bit, I mean a small amount. Understand, there's people speak layered, stacked, structured, where you can listen to one man speak and every word that he says means 2 to 3 separate things at the same time. Then you can listen to somebody else say something and understand he has 1 to 2 meanings behind it. Then you can have a flat out idiot that's out there just fishing, trying to understand. Are you serious? Liking me like what? Don't even understand that you're liking me right now might not be a good thing. Or it could be the best thing that ever happened to him. Understand. It's hard to talk to anyone nowadays. I don't know, but I know this is a strange little peach. Has a crush. Looks like it's crushed anyway. But it grows naturally like this. This is a natural peach. I don't know what breed or brand or anything about this peach, but this goes to show you how easily distracted some people are. And you follow along this conversation at all? Perfect. Mm, this is a damn good peach. Mm, mm, mm. I have no idea how I'm going to edit this. Not gonna. I don't. It's just too much. I'm running for president. I'm not a content creator. I'm here to help explain your pride and your ego and how, after a point, you need to be proud of yourself. You need to take pride in how you look. You need to not smell in class or in general in life. Um, I understand you can still smell bad and have poor hygiene and still be proud. Uh, you ever met somebody that's just so fucking full of themselves where they can't admit fault, they can't admit anything, but they demand forgiveness from you? You ever understand that? You know, it's one thing to ask for forgiveness. It's another thing to demand it or to expect it. You know, I mean, The only way to be forgiven is to swallow your pride and ask, and to understand, and to not promise not to do it again, and to understand why you shouldn't have done it. I can't personally ask for forgiveness. I can't even apologize um, unless I understand why I did something. I mean, I apologize. I cut you off. I'll say I'm sorry. You know what? I stepped on your toes. I'm sorry. Apology is an accident. An empty apology, meaningless gesture. But if I did something, let's say I deeply hurt you, and I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to ask for forgiveness. I wouldn't be able to until I understood why. Understand? And I'm not kidding.
No, understand. When people say no means yes, it causes problems. Understand when they turn the meaning of rat to werewolf. Whereas ratting on me right now mean you're liking me right now, and it's just everybody's so cool about everything. Where some people can understand that when you're going around helping people, we don't know. Understand? It's such bullshit. It's always. But let me get back to what I was saying. Was when she was telling me that there's a building full of men in there, and she could go in there and she could sleep with every man in there. She could do that that night, and she was trying to explain something else to me, something about gifts, where you needed to have such a gift in order to win her. And understand, I was just dating her. I took her out for dinner, and I was just loving her. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm over there having fantasies of her asking me to help her get a green card and shit. You know, that whole thing. Something. I don't know. I know I'm a fool, but it's just I couldn't comprehend what she was saying. My pride wouldn't let me. And after a point, it's so hard to separate these. After a point, your pride is there to help your ego. It's there to help you grow. Understand? You can't get rid of your ego because when you lose your ego, that's losing your entire sense of self, which it's who you are. And only when you return to your sense of self, I don't know. It's hard for me to talk about. I've woken up from dreams and I got up in a panic attack. I looked myself in the mirror. My pupils were fucking blown out and I'm fucking there. I'm trying to remember my name. Have you ever done that? Woke up from a dream and had to go look yourself in the mirror and try to remember your name? It was after an intense dream. You got into a snowmobile accident about a year after my. I didn't realize it was the anniversary of his death, but I don't know. But that's the gift we've been given. To not know, to just accept. And you accept these gifts, the gift of life you've been given. Anyway, what was I saying? And I am not a channel. I am just, how are you doing? I'm sorry. Didn't listen to you at all. Were you talking? I can't hear you. And I can't hear you because I don't channel. And I don't have any bugs, and I'm not a hacker or anything. God. I'd love to know one. Do you understand love to no one? And then you have to try to break down everything in every way, and you have to listen to the tones people put on their voices, and there are a lot of tone deaf bitches out there that are acting like they want to get something somewhere, and they can just go get down to the store there, and they can go find a red room. If you know nobody with that, they got that down there, that they get that and get dang there's that their store. That dang there, their store. That reverb, the reverb, and the reverb heard, and they get GERD, and get it dirt. And we don't need to get GERD. We need to calm down and I don't know. How do I explain what your pride is when you don't even know what your ego is? And how you developed a sense of pride so you can do good. This is a hard one. I had it figured out last night. And maybe I should be more up to making more videos. I don't know. I'm kind of new to YouTube and I have no clue. I really wish I had like a coach or something to help me. I don't know. TikTok. I know I'm kind of shadow banned on TikTok because I paid $65 for a particular video to just get circulated 90,000 views in one day. 666 views. 2 weeks later. Can you explain that to me, TikTok? How you're gonna ban me because I say restart. I don't say restart. I say scientific terms. Retarded. Which is what something is when it doesn't function. Understand, I'm not picking on any group or anything. I'm just saying we understand it's not an insult. It is what it is. Stillborn, it's retarded. You came out into the world, you're alive, you're breathing, you're eating, you're alive, you're capable of breathing. You're not retarded. Understand, there's a line. I mean, how do you explain that? Something. Understand how mentally disabled you could be and not be in any way, shape, or form retarded. Understand what they do to us when they try to restrict our language. They force people to say something else or just not say it at all. Just ignore it. Don't acknowledge it in a different way. I'm sorry, you didn't offer me a different way to describe how we are killing ourselves, how we ultimately are damaging ourselves by, good Lord. I don't know if I should post this. I shouldn't post this because I went on for a while and I'm not even going to edit it and say fuck all and just post it because nobody's watching my shit in the first place. One good reason. I know one person out there watches it. At least that's what it seems like. Seems Ida wouldn't have known what to do. Fuck all and fuck off. You know, just trying to explain the difference between pride and ego, where your pride can ultimately hurt your ego, can hurt your sense of self, and can hurt your self-development. Because it took me 10, 15, 20 years to understand what she was saying. When she was telling me she could go in that house and she could have sex with every man that night. And she said it like that. And she said, oh, I'd enjoy it. And I just wasn't hearing it. Well, I could go in there and I could do this. It might take me a little bit longer and I couldn't do it at the same time. She's looking at me like, that's a possibility. Very real possibility for her to go into that house and have sex with I don't know how many men. 10, 20. A house full of men. And she'd enjoy it. She fucking loved it. You know it. If she were to do that, and I don't know what kept her from doing it. Sense of self-respect, sense of self-pride. Maybe she's too prideful to do that. I don't know, but honestly, I've always just been about love. Hopeless, senseless, stupid fucking love. When I watch porn, I get off on watching the girl get off. You know, Five Guys is like, she looks like she's enjoying that a lot. I don't know. It's disgusting. Honestly, sex is kind of gross in the first place. You're slimy, you're going into some... Everything about everything's kind of gross. I ate a peach a second ago. Do you know how gross that was? It was sweet, juicy, and delicious. You ever seen a peach like that? Fully ripe, that small, little crush on it. Peach, look at this pit. I can't. How could I grow a tree with that pit? When everything acts as double entendre, triple entendre, and you got to figure out what was firm and what was meant, and all things are true. I don't know what it takes to get it through to you. Sometimes, it's a curse to have a absurdly high IQ. But yeah, anyway, I think that if we transplant some salmon from California, I, I I understand California has a problem with salmon right now, but New Hampshire's been dried up, and all of our salmon are landlocked. And if we take some salmon from the Pacific coast, a couple million eggs or something, and plant them in our lake in a place where they're going to be safe and hatch and everything, and be able to make it to the ocean, I think we could reestablish a current, some type of currency. I know I'm kind of a hard. Is that better? Where you can have something that's so overdeveloped, it turns into something that's so complex, and that there's two types of artards. Restarted. I don't, I'm probably gonna get banned, thrown off YouTube for saying, hey, not only is it a common expression, it's in no way demeaning to any particular group. You know, I mean, I'm disabled. Understand that. I have such a high IQ, I can't fucking understand what the hell you're talking about, especially when you put those tones on your voice. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Understand what I'm saying? Understand, and you won't even explain it. You can't, even if you tried. So let me try to explain the difference between ego and pride. You're put on this earth to develop an ego. Every aspect of yourself, sense of pride, sense of ego is not pride. Ego is your sense of self. Ego is where you go. Ego is beyond emotion. Ego is the observer. I don't know what you mean. Well, let's say you plan on going to a giant, an incredible music festival, right? And well, you go in there and you lose yourself completely. What's your face gonna look like when you get back? Fix your fucking face. I'm fucking sorry.